Hi guys, Ian here. Welcome to my channel and to another video. Great to see you and to speak with you guys again. This video is going to be probably a jumbled mess because there's lots of things that are going through my mind at the minute, and as you know, when that happens I kind of make a video. Firstly, for the last couple of weeks I've been watching quite a lot of the teachings of the Hindu spiritual teachers, the gurus of Hinduism, and it's caused me to think about why it is that some people, well, let me ask you a question. Why are you watching this video? Because I'm guessing this is not going to be the only video of its type that you watch. I'm guessing that you watch videos that have a kind of a spiritual content, and why is it that you watch those videos when maybe the person next to you, maybe somebody you know quite well, would not watch them? You know, why do you have this interest and they don't? And secondly, and perhaps more deeply, why is it that you and I will watch or read or see something that will provide us with a great spiritual insight, and the person next to us can look at the very same thing and see nothing and feel nothing? And I was thinking of an ex-partner of mine, okay, and sometimes I would be so excited that I would have something that I'd read or experienced or understood, and I would try and share with him, and he would see nothing and feel nothing. And I think, right, I'm not explaining this right, so I'd try again. Same result. It was like there was something missing. I don't know, like I could see with colour vision and he couldn't. He could just see in monochrome. And I don't mean that to be in any sense of, you know, that I'm more special than he was, or that I'm more special than anyone who doesn't have these interests. It's just a kind of a difference. And I've been thinking, well, why is it? What is the explanation for this? Especially from a spiritual, esoteric kind of point of view. Because if you're not of this ilk, you might just say, well, we're all different. You know, some like this, some like that, some have these interests, some have that interest. But if you are of an esoteric background, of a spiritual background, you will believe that it is something more than that. And I thought about the teaching of, which is common in a lot of world faiths, not in Christianity at all, but I thought about the teaching of reincarnation, and particularly the belief that when we are reborn into later lives, although the personality that we have is new each time, there is something cumulative about our life experience, which we know is, you know, because the soul is eternal, the soul is the repository of the life experience distilled from each life. But there's something about us going back to the point where we left off in a previous life experience, which would sort of explain why it is that some people are drawn to spiritual things and others are not, or not so much. And it would explain why some things seem very easy, which come to us very easily, whereas to others not so much, where it's like as if we're not actually relearning something. Sorry, we're not learning something from scratch, but we're remembering something that we once knew, and we're kind of brushing off the rust and repolishing the skills that we once had, the knowledge that we once had, the you know, the background information that we once had. And that does make a lot of sense to me. And so then it led me on to think about, well, okay, if that is right, why is it that some people will have a cumulative spiritual core, if you like, of knowledge and of skills, and others don't? Because regardless of what we present in our daily lives, we are all the same. Whether, you know, I'm the Indian guru who spends my life meditating in a cave, or whether I'm the richest playboy on the planet that lives my life entirely for pleasure and hedonism, essentially we are the same. We are physically, we are made the same, and spiritually we are constructed the same. We are from the same source. So what then is the difference? And the conclusion that I came to can only be that it's the duration of our cumulative experience. And I haven't really read this anywhere, so I don't know whether or not it's a teaching of anybody that's, you know, notable in said communities. But it seems to me that if a soul is a new soul, if a soul doesn't have many incarnations, then it could be that those first few incarnations have been focused on the experiences of physical living. And the more times we've gone through the loop, as it were, the more we've become aware that, hang on a minute, there's something behind the world in which we're living in. There's something more than this daily life I'm living. There's something deeper that I sense is there that I want to find out about. So to me, it makes some kind of sense, and it feels right in my kind of internal barometer that the spiritual people that are living in physical manifestation now are probably those who have had either the most incarnations, or something very significant has happened in one of those earlier incarnations that has brought them to a stage of spiritual maturity, I guess, earlier than other people. Because if that's not the case, if we just get one shot at this, one life, and then whatever is after that is after that, we don't get the opportunity, do we, to reach the same state of consciousness. If there's only one life, and we die as the playboy billionaire who has never perhaps thought a spiritual thought in their lives, then we're probably quite ill-equipped to go on to the next stage of our existence. But, you know, even as I'm saying this, and even as I'm thinking back to my comment earlier about where I said that my ex-partner had, you know, no spiritual dimension at all, that's not true, because, you know, if a person can experience beauty, if they can experience love, now whether that experience of beauty is in the glories of a forest, or of a sunrise, or of a full moon, or whether it's the beauty of the lines of a beautiful sports car, the experience of beauty is not out there, is it? It's in here. This is where we experience beauty, in our inner being. So if a person can experience beauty, beauty is a spiritual concept. If a person can experience love, compassion, that's a spiritual concept. So I was wrong to say that some people have no spiritual dimension. Everyone has a spiritual dimension. Every living being, because every living being is spirit. But if there is only one life and we have to make do with whatever we get from that one life, then we don't really stand much of a chance, do we, of reaching the perfection of our spiritual evolution. Anyway, yeah, just some thoughts. And yeah, I won't go on to anything else. I'll cut now, I'll stop, and I'll make another video, otherwise it's gonna all get jumbled and confused. All right, so anyway, great to see you guys, as I say, and I'll see you again and speak to you again soon. Bye for now.